Ah, hello YouTube. I've been expecting you. I have no cat. Welcome to this video where I plan to explain why I think the word quadrilateral is a bit of a misnomer, the etymology behind the word itself, and why we need to fix the inconsistent naming structure of shapes. Now, I love etymologies. For example, the English word sinister, which means malicious, comes from the Latin sinistra, which means left. So in other words, leftness was considered evil. And as a left-handed person myself, well, I'll let you draw your own conclusions on that one. But enough about the potential evil lurking in all left-handed people. I want to talk about the etymology of shape names, specifically 2D shapes. Now I've got a list here. Okay, we've got the octagon, the septagon, the hexagon and pentagon. And the first pattern I notice is that they all end in gon. Okay, and that's no surprise, because it turns out that comes from the ancient Greek gonus, which means corner. And so that makes me think, well, the rest of the word Greek? They are. Octa is the Greek for the number 8. Septa means 7, hexa 6, penta 5. So what you've got is 5 corners, 6 corners, 7 corners, 8 corners. It's a lovely pattern, a lovely logical structure. But then we come to quadrilaterals, and that's definitely not Greek. You can see that straight away. And turns out it's Latin. Quadri comes from the Latin for the number 4, and lateral comes from latus, which means side. So you've got 4 sides. But it would make me so much happier, and I'd really prefer it if we used the Greek structure with tetragons. Okay, because tetra is the Greek for the number 4. I mean, don't we deserve some consistency in how we name our shapes? The only shapes that don't follow the Greek structure are the triangle, the quadrilateral, and the nonagon. Now you might think the nonagon, but it's got the gon at the end. It must be Greek. Turns out it's actually a hybrid. The gon is Greek, but the nona comes from Latin for the number 9. So really, it should be a 9-sided shape should be an enneagon. And I mentioned triangles. I'll call them trigons if it's all the same to you. And wouldn't that be a wonderful link to trigonometry? You know, that trigonometry is the metric, the measurement of 3-sided shapes. It would be brilliant. We can even extend this to 2 sides and 1-sided shapes with the digon and monogon. And whilst they may not be constructible in the Euclidean plane like other 2D shapes, they are actually really important in theoretical topologies, such as rotational symmetries in cyclic groups. And it's not even just 2D shapes that don't all follow the same structure. There's an anomalous name in the 3D shapes as well, the cube. No, not that show that's hosted by Philip Schofield. But if you look at the other Platonic solids, you've got the icosahedron, the dodecahedron, the octahedron, and the tetrahedron. Now we've established that tetra and octa mean 4 and 8, respectively. I can tell you dodeca is 12, and icosa means 20. Then hedron comes from the Greek for base seat. So what you've got is 4 base seat, 8 base seat, and so on. So why is a cube not a hexahedron? Okay, why is it not 6 base seat? I don't know. When I was researching this video, I didn't find any etymology for the word cube. So if you know, please do put it in the comments below. I'd love to know, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video. But for now, I think that's all I want to say, and I'll close off by saying shapes are important in our lives. They make up the world around us, and we owe it to them, to the Greeks, and to ourselves to have a consistent naming structure. So rise up, Cast aside foolish names like quadrilateral and call them tetragons. When someone asks you to draw a triangle, tell them you're drawing a trigon instead. And when you listen to Slipknot, remember their logo is an enneagram, not a nonogram. And together, we can change shape names of the world. Thank you. Let's start with 2D shapes. I've got a list of shapes here. We've got the octahedron, the septahedron, the hexahedron, and pentahedron. That's not right!
I heard octahedron and I was just like, when's he gonna
We
realise?
were so close!
When you kept going, you kept saying octahedron, septahedron, and I was like, that's still incorrect.